Hey everybody, welcome back to JuJu's Journey. If you're new here, I'm JuJu. I'm getting dressed to go to work today. Yay! um, my husband passed away 1 year and 7 months ago, and this channel is about my journey of moving forward, kind of like a journaling channel, my finances, trying to live alone, make ends meet by myself on a very tight fixed income. I don't know why I keep saying just learning how to live life all over again. And I hope this channel encourages someone else going through grief that, as hard as it is, we can do all things hard. And we can find joy in life again, and we can find peace, and we can find happiness. That doesn't mean every day is going to be happy, and it doesn't mean that we're going to stop grieving. Doesn't mean that we're going to stop remembering our loved one. This grieving journey has been very hard for me, but when my husband died for 1 year and 7 months, the only people, besides just talking to a camera, that I really had contact with in the outside world were my children, their spouses, my very best friend, and my aunt. Other than that, of course, my grandchildren. But besides those immediate people in my life, the only socialization I had was really no one. I was getting to the point that I could care less if I stayed home for 5 days without leaving my house. I was completely content. That's not good. Some days were good and some days were not, but me and my children, we were all very, and we still are, dependent on each other and during this hard time. But everybody's got to kind of go find their own way, right? One daughter's married and she's renovating a house, and she's a newlywed since March. She doesn't need to be so concerned about making sure I'm entertained or have socialization. My other daughter, who lives next door, who's been feeding me every single night of my life until right here recently, shouldn't feel that burden of feeding her mother or making sure they even cook what I want to eat, you know. Whenever she has her own little tiny family, they should be able to sit around and discuss things at dinner that JuJu doesn't have to be involved with. That's their immediate family. So we started kind of inching away from that. My son-in-law got a new job, and so his home base is going to be from his house. So he'll be home probably 90 to 95% of the time. And that means all of our little lunch dates are not going to be the same. And then I went and picked up a part-time job. Hold on, let me pause real quick. Thank you. I had to let my little doggy in. But, I'm trying to figure out. And then I went and got a new job. So, everything's just changing all at once. And it's for the best. Trust me. It's really good. And I think it's God's timing. I really do. Um, it's going to be awesome knowing that my daughter's not going to have to wake up her son if he's napping when she has to go pick up her daughter from school and I'm at work, because, you know, if he's napping, then Dad will be there while she runs and picks up her daughter. And it's literally, the school's around the corner, so it's no big deal. He'll be able to manage. Or he could even run out on a break and pick her up. I don't know, life is just completely turned around so much in 1 month. It's amazing. I absolutely love my job. Never in a million years did I ever think that I would be working at a dry cleaner's. And never in a million years did I ever think that a dry cleaner's is really, really, really busy. That busy. I mean, I thought it was going to be work, you know. But I mean, it is constant. Absolutely like a constant work. I cannot believe how busy a dry cleaner's is. You can be taking people's clothes in. Like, they come in and they're giving you your clothes. You have to, you know, check those in on the computer, bag them, take them, put them here, and then you have to tag them to make sure they don't get lost in the dry cleaning procedure. But as you're doing all of that, your tagging basket's getting huge, and then people are coming in, they want to pick up their dry cleaning, and then the telephone's ringing, and then there's credit cards, and I mean, it's so, like, you do not sit down. You're standing and constantly working the whole entire time you're there. And it is so much fun. I'm enjoying every minute of it. I worked 3 days last week. I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Of course, those were training days. And I worked with 3 different people. And then I went in Monday and worked with another new person. He was awesome. Every single person has been wonderful. Wonderful group of people. I can't even, but the person who owns the dry cleaner, she's absolutely wonderful too. I've known her for a long time, and she's just the sweetest, most precious person you'll ever meet. And it's a great place to be. And you get to see a lot of people that you know in the community dropping off their dry cleaning, so you have small conversations. It's a very social job. And it was odd. I told them when there were no customers in, I said, I feel like I've been on a deserted island for like 1 year and 7 months. And then I made it to land, and I'm like, there's other people in the world except, you know, besides my family. Like, there's people out there besides my immediate family. How can this be? And it's like a whole new world. And I've always been a very social person, which makes it even funnier, because you would have never guessed that I wouldn't be doing stuff, really, for 1 year, 7 months. Yes, I'll go out to eat with my daughter, and we'll do certain things, but it's just us. We're not like out gabbing it up with other people. You know, I don't know. It's just a good experience. Whether this is going to be me for, you know, the next 2 years or 3 years, who knows? This was just the door that God opened for me to step through to get me out and into the next phase or chapter of my life. And I asked for that guidance. I think I've asked for it in videos that I've posted here, that it was time for a change. And it was, you know, God would open up something and let me know that this is a good thing. And it happened. And I can't give anybody credit except for God. He always has been there for me since day one. The first year that my husband passed away, the only way I got through it was like just diving into God's Word. Every day, every devotion that I read, it was talking to me. And I think that's so incredible how the Bible is written. I mean, to speak to everyone at every time of their life that is going to help you get through it. And when I finally gave in to God, instead of just kind of starting to kind of sink back a little bit, but whenever I finally just looked up and said, God, show me what I'm supposed to be doing, I feel like the eBay business. Yes, I sold something today. I'm going to ship it out in just a moment. But I wasn't putting my energy into it. It wasn't fulfilling that need. But that's not the need God wanted me to have, because that was going to sink me back into my home. And so that desire wasn't there for me to push that to be just a little extra income. And I'm so glad he didn't, because I need to be out in the public. I need to get up, take a shower, which I take a shower every day, but put on makeup. This is my nightgown, y'all. I just put it on while I'm getting ready. I'm going to wear another dress to work today. But just to get dressed and put on makeup and, make sure that before I go into work, I'm going to look in the mirror and just make sure I look presentable. I haven't done that since my husband died. I could care less how I looked when I went out in public, because I didn't represent anything except myself. But now I represent this business, so of course you're going to want to look your best. Make sure your clothes are presentable and ironed, and, not wearing leggings and t-shirts every day. I mean, I remember 2 weeks ago someone asked me, so what are you doing now? I ran into someone at the grocery store, and I said, I wake up every day, put on, get dressed with leggings and try to find the funniest t-shirt I can wear, whether it was stay in your lane or guess what, chicken butt, a t-shirt with aliens on it, because my husband always watched alien, documentaries, and Bigfoot. I mean, just silly stuff. Just, that was, my whatever. I never, although I did wear dresses a lot because it's so hot here. But the point of this is, whenever I would put on clothes, it wasn't because I was trying to go to work to represent the company. I was going to work. I was going out just to grab something to eat and go back home. I'd gotten into such a rut. Remember, I was just doing DoorDash for everything. I did DoorDash on Sunday. I had my groceries delivered, but that was okay, because I was doing other things. Like, I was actually motivated to try to get my house ready for this new work week, which is what you do when you work. I made sure my washed and dried my sheets and washed my bedding. Made sure my clothes were washed for the week. Just got everything kind of organized, reset for the new week ahead. I have not reset for the new week ahead since my husband passed away. Of course, I've washed my sheets, but not because I'm going to be busy this week. I better, you always on the weekends reset your house. At least I've always done that. It didn't matter what day of the week it was before. Sunday was Monday. Monday was Wednesday. It didn't matter. Like, every day could have been any day. I didn't you know, I wasn't working. But now I know I have on my calendar this week, I'm working Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 to 6. So I have something to look forward to. It's only 9:49 a.m. I don't have to be at work until 1, but I'm already showered and I'm going to get dressed, and I've got a few errands to run before I go to work. And I decided today I'm probably going to run through Tropical Smoothie and grab my lunch because I really don't care for what I have here at the house. I'm not in the mood for a peanut butter and jelly or a pimento cheese sandwich. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go grab something, a light lunch, and eat it before I go to work. And it's just something, it's just awesome. Like, I can plan out my day, plan out my errands. I'm going to get this order ready to ship. And on my way out the house today, I'm going to be able to do my few errands that I have and then go to work. And then when I get off work, I'm going to be tired because it really is physical labor. Believe it or not, it is physical labor. So I'm calling this new job. My new job is, for a 58-year-old fat woman that hasn't really worked out. My best friend and I did get on a walking journey last fall, but it was cool. I can't walk in the summertime. So I'm calling this new job my gym membership that is actually paying me to move. Like, I'm getting paid to get up and walk and move for 5. Well, normally if you work until 6, you won't get out until 7 because all of those dag-blame clothes have to be tagged. People get their bathing suit, like men's bathing suit bottoms. Children, too. They get those dry cleaned. Regular little t-shirts that dry cleaned. I think it's amazing. Things that I never even thought about having dry cleaned, they're having dry cleaned. Some things are just washed, but it's just amazing. There's a whole world, a dry cleaning world that I never ever knew existed. This business has been in our town, I think it was 2nd or 3rd generation, and then the last generation sold to my friend. And of course I knew the old owner as well. But that one little building, and it's not huge, employs like 30 people. That's how big the dry cleaning business is. It's amazing. And I cannot even wrap my brain around not knowing this. How did I not know that world existed exactly like it does? It's hilarious. And then, people are dropping off clothes while you're going to retrieve clothes. And it's just so funny because it's like, especially if I'm training so long, let's say maxi dresses, they're kept in a different location because of their length. If they were on the normal, the racks that you see that you hit the button and it goes, if they're not there, but if you don't look on the computer to see exactly what you're looking for, but you're just like panicking, like, oh my gosh, I can't find their order. But it's an easy find because when you're training, you don't know all the little tricks of the trade. And I'm catching on very quickly. I love it. Absolutely love it. I feel like, let me see what I feel like. I kind of feel like when you're doing a craft or when you're making something, it's repetition, but it's constantly, it's all a little bit different. Each thing's a little bit different, but you're doing the same thing. Let's say if you were making party favors, you know, you might, one party favor may have a dum-dum, but the other one may have a sucker. But, you know, you get in your rhythm and you're doing all these little tasks, you know. But then while you're making all these treat bags, you've got to get up and feed your baby. And then hurry back right time he's done and start making treat bags. And while you're making the treat bags, the telephone's ringing, but then all of a sudden you're on the telephone and then you hear ding ding and somebody's at the window and then somebody walks through the door, but both registers are full, but also full of the clothes that you hadn't put in the computer yet. And then the baby starts crying. And, you know, that's what you feel like. The baby's crying because you heard a big crash, but there's really not a crash. But the crash could be somebody saying, I can't find whatever. And then, you know, you're open up the thing and you're like, okay, maxi dresses, go look at in the dress section. And then you come out and you're like, here you go, ma'am, you know, and like you never had to look for it. You know, it's just so funny that it's constant. And then right time everybody leaves, you've checked in everything in the computer, then you're, you know, going through all those bags and you're tagging the clothes, putting them where they need to go, dry clean with stains, dry clean, wash, laundry no starch, laundry light starch, laundry heavy starch, alterations go here. I mean, it's just kind of interesting, like the whole dynamic. But then as you're doing all that, then all of a sudden someone walks in, you have to pause, go back, do that, then ding, 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 ding. And then your little bag that you're tagging is huge. It's like 3 feet by 3 feet by probably 3 feet. And it's completely full, overflowing. And then when you close up at 6, that whole bag has to be completely tagged, right? So you're constantly trying to make sure you're efficient so you don't have to hold you know, because everybody's going to stay and tag those clothes. You don't want to get out at 7. You want not to hold everybody. Like, I feel like since I'm new, I'm holding people up, but I don't think I am. I just think that's the reality of the job. And so it's kind of interesting that we, that this is like the dry cleaning world. I think it's awesome. And it just stays busy and you get to chit chat when there's no customers in. Everybody's so sweet. I get to see people come in that I've known forever and then they want to, you know, I can't stand there and just talk. But you get to catch up a little bit while you're ringing them up. And it's just a good experience. And I find it so amazing. And I have seen the most beautiful clothes. Like, you can tell really nice clothes. And I'm like, this is really nice. It's really cool to see everything. Like, you know, I'll just wear Temu dresses because, you know. But then you can see, like, this dress probably costs like $500. And she wears it to work every day. It's really, really cool. I've met some amazing people, and I'm so happy. But that's my update. So what I've got to do today is 9:58 now. I've got to get the eBay order ready. Of course, before I go to work, I'll freshen up my makeup. I've got to make a list of all my little errands I need to run. I need to take my trash out, make sure it's out by the road, because I'm sure when I get off tonight, I'm not going to feel like pulling my trash out for trash pickup. And I'm trying to think of something else that's important that I need to do. Oh, I need to start a load of laundry. You know, I was only washing on the weekends. And I probably still will, but I didn't wash last week, and there were 2 little dresses I could wear. Today's Wednesday, so I could wear 2 of them Thursday and Friday that I haven't worn yet. So I think I'm going to start a load of clothes so that those items will be ready. And I'm just ecstatic. I don't know if you can tell. I'm definitely sleeping at night because there's concrete floors, but they have those rubber mats, and you're on your feet. So if you think about it, standing on your feet for 6 hours straight on concrete and you're not used to that, of course, I felt like I'd gone to the gym and worked out. And then after like day 3, like by Friday of last week, I was completely fine. Day 2, it was funny. Like last Thursday, the only thing that hurt before I went to work were my butt muscles. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have a tight hiney. It's gonna take a long time for it to it's gonna take forever for it to get like that. But anyway, it was just funny. I worked my butt muscles at a dry cleaner's. I feel like I'd done squats or something. I mean, it's just so funny. But then the next day, I wore a pair of socks. And I always wear, I call them no-seams, but you can't see my socks and my shoes. And of course, you've got to have on comfy shoes. So I'm wearing cute little summer dresses with tennis shoes. And anyway, this particular no-seam sock, when I slid my shoe on, it bunched up at the top and I could see my sock. So I tucked it in. Well, that just made a big old bulge, you know, like that was a big mistake. My feet, both of my feet killed me that night. And whenever I took off my shoe, I realized why. It would be like having a knot stuck on the top of your foot with your shoe pressing on it. So I said, never again will I make that mistake. There's been lots of little things that I've done that just by making the mistakes, you'd never do it again. I've caught myself doing them. But like I said, wonderful, wonderful people that I work with. And I can't wait to go have the adventure again today. I feel like so far every day's been an adventure. And then yesterday, I finally had to make a big, big, big decision moving forward with something that's going on in my life that was very hard to make, even though it was time and there's nothing else I can do except do this. But it was hard, it's difficult, and I just pray that everything's gonna move forward the way it should be. It just breaks my heart. It honestly breaks my heart. But it breaks my heart more. I guess it bothers me that it breaks my heart, but it doesn't bother the other people that they're breaking people's hearts, if that makes sense. But I'm glad I still get bothered by breaking people's hearts and trying to everybody do what's right and get along and not, you know, it's unnecessary for some of these things to be occurring. It's all a simple fix. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. But I guess you get to see people's true colors when someone passes away. But it's been 3 years and almost 2 months. It's time for it to halt and let things get corrected and done so everybody can move on. So that's my wish for that. And y'all have a great day. God bless you. And God keep you and protect you. And if you're going through a hard time right now, I've been there, I still am going through it. This channel is to encourage us to just keep pushing forward. Just keep pushing forward. Even if you're end up at a at a, what is it called? A dry cleaning facility. Working at the dry cleaners. I love it. Absolutely love it. I taught little kids my whole entire life. When I say little kids, 5 and under, preschoolers. You have to be physically active, and I was a very physically active school teacher for my whole career, and I loved every minute of it. Well, I can't go back to that. Too much has changed anyway in the world. I probably would get fired this day and time. But, I'm 58, out of shape. I can't get up and down with the children like I would have. So this is the next phase of someone who's 58 years old getting a job. And I haven't worked in probably 13 years. Like, I have not had a job in 13 years. So it's just kind of funny that here I am learning new little skills. And I think it's going to carry me forward to hopefully maybe another opportunity. Or if not, I'll just be happy here. But I love it, and I'm so, so grateful. I'm so grateful that this person gave me a chance to venture out. I can't imagine, honestly, having to really go apply, for work, and I don't know. Like, I don't think what would I be good at? Like, what are my skills? I can't go work in an office. I can, but they're not going to hire me because, do you have office experience? Well, yes, I do, but I don't. Do you? I can't say, oh, yes, I worked at so-and-so's office for 10 years and I'm a quick learner about all of that. No, I can't really say that because, yes, I kept books and sent out invoices and things like that, but it wasn't it wasn't a part of my really job duty, I guess. That's not what I was hired to do. I was just a director of a preschool program, So the clerical work came there, but I never did payroll. That was another person's job. But, you have to bill the parents and you have to pay your staff. And you also have to keep up with your expenses, because they have to be turned in as well. So yeah, I've had experience doing all those things, but I don't think I have experience enough. Like, I created my own way. I didn't use a program, I don't know. Life is funny. I'm just so excited. I think when I go to work today, I'm going to have a paycheck. Like, my very first paycheck today. Do you know how exciting that is? I cannot wait. Like, I can already tell that the things that I've been worried about, I've been worried about paying my part on this beach trip that's coming up in October. I have 2 months and not even halfway there to pay my part. And I don't have to worry about that anymore. I was worried about or upset that I was going to have to change $200 in my budget because of my electricity bill. Of course, I'm still going to try to keep my electricity bill low, but now I can work to pay that difference and I don't have to change my budget for all the other things that are important to me. I feel like this has opened up a whole new chapter of first of all, giving me something to do that I don't think about things so much. And number two, it's going to give me a little bit of extra income to be able to fund some of these big things like my house insurance and my car insurance. Those are my two major things that I'm trying to get fully funded right now. And I also want to go to the beach with my family. And that's the good thing about this job. Anytime you want off, you can have off. She's got enough people that she can fill in the gaps. And so that's awesome. But I just think it's absolutely awesome that that burden's going to be slowly lifted, just lifted away. And I'm not going to have to really focus on it. Like, like I'm not going to have to sit there and dwell like, oh my goodness, how is this going to affect, like how is this going to affect paying my taxes? Or what if I accidentally spend too much at the grocery store? Am I ever going to be able to ever get 3 to 6 months ahead? Right now I'm only 1 month ahead. And to be quite honest, I did do that last year, but I did have some money in the bank to start out with. I really want to be 3 to 6 months for in case something happens to pay my bills. But I would also like to have an emergency fund of like $20,000. But I also got to have this house fixed, and I have to have that big tree removed. Like last night we had a storm warning. I was so paranoid that that tree was going to fall. I'm saving up to have it cut down. I'm not calling it an emergency because it's been limbed, so it's not going to fall on my neighbor's house or in her yard and damage anything. But when it falls, it's not going to hit my house. It may hit that building in the back, but I don't really care about that building. But that's the only thing it can really damage, unless it falls on my dog. That would really upset me. But I think the dog would already be inside if we were having a storm that big. But I don't know. I'm just like, once I get that tree removed, I won't have to worry about it. So I'll get to put more money towards that, I believe, in all due time. I just think this job is just an opportunity to just let things happen. Take a little bit more stress off of me. I'm going to have less stress. I'm going to have movement, exercise, not just sit there and watch YouTube videos. It's going to give me motivation. It's going to give me more energy, for sure. And I'm going to be making a little bit of money and socializing and hopefully meeting some really good, like making really good friends with my work family that'll last a lifetime. I'm so excited you can't even imagine. And like I said, I thank God for this. I really do. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. I didn't know it was going to be, I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes, and it's already been 38 minutes. So, bye, y'all. Have a great day. I plan on having a good day, too.